My last video was like a month ago, and then the one before that was 2 months ago. I think I've only made like 3 videos in 3 months. And I feel kind of bad. My ideal self and my vision for what I would like to be doing if I had the discipline and self-control to actually implement it in my life would be to make at least a video a day, for there to be, to treat it like a journal log, just of my existence, at least a few minutes a day. And it sounds crazy, and that's such a simple thing. It sounds crazy that I haven't, out of everything, been able to do that. But that kind of goes to show you the level of discipline that I have. It's non-existent. I'm an addict. I really am. I haven't talked about that as much. I've mentioned it in different videos. First of all, my physical, just in the last few months, since the beginning of 2020, my physical condition, this situation with my legs being like this, they're wanting to go just completely crossed, and they're wanting to phase through each other, and it hurts a lot, and it's uncomfortable just constantly. It never stops. It never stops. And that just in itself, besides everything going on in the world, that has been made me, man, I'm spending every day, my last video was a month ago, and the one before that was 2 months. Here's what I do every single day. You know, from 12 to 16 hours, I have been watching a lot of TV. I've gone back, I've watched like classic movies, I've watched old movies. It's like there's like frantic trying to escape, like keep my mind off of everything. Some old shows, movies. And then as I'm watching it, though, I'm also on my phone on social media. So I've got 2 screens. and then the cryptocurrencies, which I have kind of slipped back into in the last few months. I've had points. I talked in the past about how, like, there was a point where my cryptocurrency was worth so much, over $1 million, and then I made a ton of mistakes, and it's a lot less now. And there have been points where I beat myself up really bad about that, and regretted it, and started like like an OCD thing, like, man, you idiot. And that has not gotten to like any obsessive or life destroying point in the last couple of months, but it has kind of gone back. There was a point where I had accepted it, and I was like, it's all part of the story. It's a great story anyways, and I had accepted it. But then over the last few months, and started worrying about that more, watching the prices, when ultimately I have faith that my life is going to end up, I'll live and I'll die. I'm thankful that I've lived up to this point. So I don't know why I am worried about financial, I get a disability check. I don't know how long that'll keep going if the system really was to collapse, but so I've had the physical discomfort just worse than it's ever been. My life has narrowed down to this one constant experience of my legs crossing right over left, left over right. Neither one can ever be where it wants to be. I'm in constant pain. And then on top of that, the world right now, that has made me want to withdraw and retreat from social media. Got my picture of is that the one? That's the one my wife drew, and then I drew that one. It was like they have these classes where you drink wine and do a painting lesson. Everybody brings, or alcohol, you just bring whatever alcohol you want. That was back when I still drink. I've never been, I can't remember if I've ever been completely open about how nightmarish my drinking became. That would need its own whole video. I've done drugs. I've been addicted to all the things. I still am struggling with addiction to all the things, but alcohol is the one thing that I think it was last June. It's almost been a year since the last time I drank, and it went horribly, horribly wrong. I almost destroyed my entire life, my marriage. It was a nightmare. It was really bad. And it's not even, it's, there's people who can drink in moderation and it's like a good thing, the social lubricant and everything. It's, for me, I can't. And out of all the drugs, and I've done Schedule 1, like highly illegal drugs that are supposedly so bad for you and so dangerous, and they never came anywhere near, not to say that they're all positive effects. Like I've had negative effects from illegal drugs too, but not anywhere near what alcohol was. So that's where I've been at, just in a escape mentality. Television, shows, movies. I'm rewatching I think it's my number one favorite anime of all time right now. It's called Legend of Galactic Heroes. And it's long. It's a long anime. There's like the two first movies that you got to watch and then 110 episodes. And I've been binge watching that just in the last like 2 weeks. I'm on episode 90, I think 96 right now. Just, I wake up like it's my purpose. Like I wake up and there was a point where I was looking at the news and keeping up with it and trying to interact with people. I have a Twitter account too that I've been on, and if anyone else is on Twitter, my name is Crypto Mutant, CryptoMutant. If you want to follow me, I'll follow you back, and we can stay connected on Twitter too. I don't know. I had never been on Twitter until this year. I think I made my account in January. And it's a unique platform. I had a perception of it like, oh, I'm not interested in that. But it's a unique platform. I like that you can go live. YouTube has it set where you have to have 1,000 subscribers to be able to go live from your smartphone. I'm not sure. I think maybe anyone can go live from like just more of a full setup with a camera and stuff. I'm not sure, but to mobile stream, you have to have 1,000 subscribers, which is, they implemented that right after the New Zealand Christchurch mass shooting that happened. So that's where I've been at, and just escaping, struggling with addiction, I'm thankful to be alive, and I'm not ever, I've said this before, I'll say it again, I'm not ever going to kill myself. I'm not. I've told the story so much about my dad and his dad. They both shot themselves. And I'm in so much pain, and like my life has become so tedious, just at the most basic physical level. My wife is on a trip right now, and I'm realizing how little, like, to do the dishes and the laundry and feed the cats. If I didn't have her, I would still have at least my one cat. Clean the litter box, feed the cat. Tinkerbell and Lex. I don't know if I could do it by myself. I think I could just barely still at this point, but I don't know, a year from now, my legs seem like they're getting more and more warped, or they've gotten just way more warped just in the last 2 or 3 years. 3 years ago, I could still move my legs like this. I could still move my legs in a walking motion 3 years ago. Now they're like this. They're crossed, and it's like, boom. I can only have one over the other. And that is like, oh man. I can't sleep on my left side. I can sleep on my right side sometimes if I'm lucky and I'm able to fall asleep, but that's hard too. So that, and then it's causing back problems. Oh man. Not gonna kill myself. I'm not gonna do it. That's like my whole thing at this point is it's the social media presence, everything, the content creator and influencer. I don't want to be any of those things. I really am just a guy severely physically disabled, in constant physical pain, struggling with every addiction you can imagine. All of them. just trying to hang on to the things that are good and the reasons for living. And I hope you guys are doing well. I haven't even got into commentary on like, oh, here's what I think about, this or that in the news. Everything has gotten so hypersensitive that it's like you can't say anything that's non-controversial anymore. The only thing that could be non-controversial is if you're like, this is a pillow. There's still a consensus on that in reality. What is this? You could ask 10 people, and 10 people will most likely say this is a pillow. You might have the one person who has a more specific word. We're like, oh no, well, that's a certain type of pillow, though, or something like that. But that's object consensus is the last line. And everything else, as far as how things should be, or what all these abstractions, very controversial. I see myself as being on the same side. If you don't murder, rape, poison, enslave, steal from innocent people, and you're just trying to live your life and take care of yourself and your family and loved ones, I see us as being on the same side. That's as simple as it is. Underneath all of the political and left, right, and race and all of these divisive things, if you don't want me dead in this moment, I don't want you dead. And the only reason I would ever kill you is if you try to kill me. That's it. If you come into my house and you're like, hey, I saw your videos and I'm going to step on your legs. I'm going to smash your broken, aching legs with this bat until you give me your cryptocurrency. If you want to do that, then I will defend myself as well as I can. But other than that, we're cool, and I see us as being on the same side. So I really love you guys. You guys have encouraged me so much. In the last year, it was just the beginning of this year, wasn't it, man? It seems like a long time ago that I just had all of a sudden like 300 people subscribe, and I care about you. I hope you're doing well, as well as I hope you. If you're alive, hang on to that. And I also, anything like, how are you doing? Share anything with me. Talk to me about anything. I'm here. Everything is crazy. I'm thankful. It's pretty crazy that I can have this high definition camera and all these platforms to be able to communicate, because otherwise, without the internet and the phones and the cameras, I would be completely isolated as just this severely disabled guy who's at home all the time, just physically suffering. That would be terrible. I'm thankful to be able to share this moment with you. And I have this, is it down here? Well, I have to find it. I have this 4 terabyte waterproof, supposed to be a super durable hard drive. It's like you drop it, it won't break. You put it under water, waterproof. It's a 4 terabyte hard drive. It's not an SSD, so that's the only thing. But I meant to do this a year ago. I had the idea. It's another thing I haven't implemented. I want to keep a big hard drive, multiple terabytes of the record, my record. Every video on my phone still hasn't filled up to 250 gigabytes on my iPhone, which is crazy. I've been making videos on this phone I bought it in late 2017. So yeah, now if I had been making videos every day like I wanted to, it would have filled up a lot faster. But anything you would like to share with me about your story, to any degree, anyone, as a comment, if you want to link me to another thing, if you have a Twitter and you tell me, hey, or you either tell me on Twitter like, hey, I follow you from YouTube, or you tell me on here, hey, my Twitter is this. I'm going to try to keep up with my comments and responding to everyone. But I would like to preserve what I can of all of our experience, not just mine, on the hard drive. Like, I would like to have a file that's all my story and all the stuff I'm recording on this hard drive. And then I would like to have, I don't even know how I would divide it up, either by date. The best way to do it would be to have it all categorized in multiple ways so that I could sort through it, have it by date, have it by person. But I would like to save any amount of story that is yours that you would like to share with me. I like to save it on this hard drive. And ultimately, it's like, who knows? Who knows if everything collapses and who knows if anyone would ever even find the hard drive. But I think there's something really important in the act of just trying to preserve it. It's like, hey, there's all this censorship on social media. Who knows? Who knows if Facebook will still be a thing 10 years from now? Or YouTube or any of these sites. It's crazy to think about. But there's other stuff emerging. I made a BitChute account, which is supposed to be the less restrictive, less censoring alternative to YouTube. And it's the same name. I got my live reaction selfie name. I haven't put any videos up on BitChute yet, but I do want to. I guess I could put this one. Let's just start with this one. But I think it would be good for people in general. But, I don't want to tell people what to do. But like anyone using YouTube, I don't see how it could hurt to also be uploading to some of these less restrictive. There's an exodus happening. And I don't think YouTube is just going to not be around. I don't think people are going to completely leave YouTube and Facebook and stuff. But I could see 5 years from now, YouTube having a lot less, and there might be, 3 or 4 other platforms that have emerged as more decentralized and less censored. So that's a cool thing. And that's actually a good opportunity for anyone, anything you have going on as far as social media, whether it's video, articles, whatever you do in your life that you want to share with other people. There's a unique opportunity here to start establishing yourself on some of these decentralized video. And there's some decentralized, there's a platform called Hive, which is articles and video, and actually writes the words to the blockchain. And you don't even have to buy, it's a cryptocurrency, there's a whole cryptocurrency system it's built on. You don't even have to buy the cryptocurrency to use it. If you want to just make the articles and have your words be permanently recorded on the blockchain, you don't have to buy any of it. And that's how I think really these decentralized platforms need to work. They need to be accessible by everyone. You shouldn't have to buy a cryptocurrency to use the platform. It should be built on it. And then when people start using it and there's a use, then that's the reason. At that point, you might be like, oh, this millions of people are using this, and maybe I will buy some of this cryptocurrency. And I think that's more how it should work. There's too much, man, get sidetracked if I start talking about cryptocurrency space. That needs to be its whole own video. That would be like 40-minute, hour video or something. Break it all down. I wish I had the cognitive focus to organize everything into separate articles and record it. Man, I've just been so drained, exhausted, physically not healthy, not exercising. Although I'm trying to get an arm bike set up in my house. So I had bought the one little arm bike that you can set on a table, but I need to buy the stand too. So there's like a $300 frame stand that you can mount it on, so it's got an adjustable height, and you can pull a chair and even a wheelchair up in front of it. Man, I know I will be feeling a lot better if I could just do that every day. I'm excited for that. But almost coming up on 20 minutes, so I guess that's it for now. I really appreciate you. Anybody who watched this entire video, that's crazy to me. Like, I want to say that anybody, if you have your own videos or if you maybe you've never made videos, if you want to either make a video or, like I said, share your story in any way, I'm here. I don't have friends in my geographical area. I have my wife, a couple friends. Well, I have my wife and then my mom and my younger brothers in a different state. A couple friends from high school in a different state. And I have no friends geographically in this area that I actually hang out with, or, so I've got the time, and I want to hear what you have to say. And I want to see any amount of your story that you would bequeath on me and grace me with your presence. I would appreciate it. It would mean a lot to me. And with your permission, I will save your videos on my hard drive and make a file with your name to whatever degree, your username, any articles. It doesn't have to be a video if you want to write anything. So, anyways, thank you for watching this.